going up to the top to put some cameras out?
Yeah. Only rained an inch, a little less than an inch in a month. Yesterday was the inch. And it must have been a slow wind because it's all loose. And that's good. Yeah, this boat's dry. This has been tilled up. Forage oats has been in it since the 19th day of August. We're in a severe drought down here in southern Iowa. And the only thing that's actually germinated was some velvet leaf. But other than that, we got zero results. I had a few mature velvet leaves. The dirt's soft, at least I can pull them out. If I hadn't had these beans planted, which has plenty of beans in them, the forage oats they didn't even get washed into the ground. And thank God for soybeans, because you wouldn't be looking at anything on this field right now. It'd be just as bare as that field. That's drought 2022. 9/11, 1/1. Our country was under attack, so it could be a whole lot worse. But food plots, in my terminology, I want to sum it up with one word: suck. But the main thing I want to emphasize is I went through this same thing last year, and it's becoming the norm of these dry, droughty type weather patterns in the Midwest. Nothing you can do about it, other than be versatile. Got another weed. But if you hadn't had the beans and you relied solely on a fall annual, I don't care what name brand or what blend, you wouldn't have any germination. And I know the germination on the oats can happen because they're there, and there's a lot that can happen between now and the first frost. No one has a sure silver bullet for food plots, especially in the fall, because normally in the fall, that's your dry period. Everything's drying down, and that's what the farmers need to dry their crops, to save them in propane at the granary, and on and on and on. So it's just what it is, and you got to learn how to deal with it mentally, because we've been killing deer long before food plots, and here is a good example. Acorns scattered around here. Lots and lots of acorns. So what you didn't get in the field, you got from the trees. All this is covered up with acorns in here, which is a good mass crop. #1 deer food, especially white acorns. So you just got to learn how to deal with your land, because I don't care who you are, unless you have irrigation, you're up that creek with the rest of us. So that's going to put a wrap on it on a very honorable and memorable day, September 11th, 2001. our country was under attack. So let's wander back and do our thing.
Anyway, this camera, we call this the black camera, and because we had a black camera on a long time ago, and the trail goes here, goes through that creek, which doesn't have no water in it, back up that hill, and if you go straight that direction, you end up over going by herb stand and over by the mock scrape tree. Okay, there's two trails coming together here, right here and right here. That one didn't used to be mowed. Donnie, you must have just mowed that this year.
No, I had it last year.
Last year?
Yeah, it ain't exactly the same, but it's pretty close.
Yeah, path of least resistance.
But anyway, it gets two trails coming and going.
Yep, actually, yeah.
A lot of dead shit down here.
I say the tractor must drive around in here better than this does. Yeah? Well, you're going to put a blind right here?
Yeah, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That way
Shit, you don't even probably need a blind. You can probably just set up a couple pieces of camouflage fabric.
Yeah, you could just put it across there, but
yeah,
got the blind. I guess that's level. That'll get everything right there.
should. Our nemesis, the raccoon, pooping right there.
Oh, why didn't the fucking red light come on? Please insert SD card. Oh, the card is broken out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's lovely. That'll get both of them coming on. Try to get more birds coming to eat worms on the bare field.
Or oats on the bare dirt.
Yeah, that's just amazing. Absolutely no germination whatsoever. Yeah, you want to make sure you got a pair of clippers with you when you're putting them cameras up. You don't have something that grew over the summer that you get 55 pictures of. Back in the day when you had to take the cameras to the developer, you'd have 24 pictures of a weed. So, anyway. And
now you'll have 500 pictures of a weed.
Yeah. And I'm behind the times because I do got the cell phone cameras, and they work real well. But you know, somewhere along the line, you got to draw the line of expenditures.
Well, here's a thought for all you people watching. If you've got a cell camera, you put in the notes down there or the messages down there what kind you have and whether or not you like it or not and how well it works for you. That way, if we decide to get one, we'll have everybody else's opinion on which one's the better camera. Because I think we're tending to buy a couple of them this year. You always want to make sure you do something with that strap because the strap will do the same thing as a weed.
Yeah.
500 pictures of a strap.
Blowing in the wind.
Yeah.
And the nice thing about when I put my cameras up, I put them where I can access them with the least amount of human intrusion. Even though I've seen where I've walked right in with a deer where 15 minutes later after I left, the deer showed up and didn't show any fear or anything. But
well, you were working in this field and there was deer out in it.
yeah.
But anyway, this is where you shot the deer last year, right?
Yeah, yeah. That was
right there.
Right there, that tree. That's where the broadhead, I think, is still stuck in there.
And you gotta remember, most important thing, gotta turn them on.
Yeah. I've left them unturned on before.
Yep.
Oh, well, you know where they go. They're going to go down to the pond.
Yeah. Is this where you see them coming out all the time?
Yeah. See, that's that tree.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I see it over there.
I could put it.
Camera right there. Yeah.
You have to get them way back down there.
Oh yeah. That's a good tree.
You put the tree stand up against that one man's back.
Yeah.
See where they're coming out to?
Yeah, right to the locust tree.
Look at that tree.
Yeah. That's a good tree.
Now, I don't see no good tree.
What, to put a camera on?
Yeah. Here.
Yeah. Yeah, looky here.
Oh, yeah. Area.
Yeah, it's a new trail or like you said, new area to hunt. Yeah.
And have an angle right there.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I like this area right here, this tall grass stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
They got it beat down.
Yeah. It ain't beat down for any other reason other than something's been in there. You know. Because that looks like that'll get the biggest area. And basically this is just scouting. You know what I mean? Because this is a new camera. Not a new camera, but putting a camera in a new area.
But I know that they come up through here. They get up. You see that fence now.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, they get to chase them. See that tree line up there?
Mm-hmm.
And then try to clean them, but that painful.
This almost looks like a deer bed.
Yeah, probably is.
Looks like there's one over there too. I mean, if I was a deer, I'd want to sleep here. It's nice, soft grass.
Nobody can get to you.
Yeah.
Some dire straits.
Yeah, got that right.
I'll have to cut a new one and get that old one off. And lucky we got that big part roped on there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, wired and zip tied and. Oh, those one cutters will get rid of that, the zip ties. So you're cutting off some limbs to put on your mock scrape tree, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what. This tree's getting to be too big to use, you know what I mean?
This is wide enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Put it on there.
Yeah.
And it's not overly heavy.
Yeah, you don't want it to be overly heavy.
Because that limb ain't very good anymore.
No.
But that's enough
Yeah, look at that. It's got acorns on it too.
Huh?
It's got acorns on it too.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay. Go down yonder and hang it on the tree.
Yep. That'll make that lighter.
Yeah.
That wouldn't do anything. Watertight. That's all. And actually, I got a bug that keeps flying right in my fucking eye. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And you can't do nothing about it because you're holding on fucking tree limb. After they were like just out of fun.
Yep. If it wasn't cool out, you wouldn't be doing it.
Oh yeah. Last week in Casey, Wyoming, it was 107 record-setting temperatures.
Yep, that looks good. Looks a lot better than it did when we drove up here. Yeah, no water in the creek.
Bone dry.
Oh, yep.
Been that way all summer. Oh, but not up here. Here it is. I don't know what time it is. It's been
About 3:30.
3:37 on the 19th, or on the 11th. Deb, can you pan down on this clover? That's still a pretty good stand of clover. And that's a perennial. And on a dry year like this, you go down here in the low, wet ground, and what little moisture that could get, it's utilized, that's for sure. So, we got some grass, we got weeds, but we also got, and now this clover should grow after that inch of rain, but it's in the shade and it looks really damn good. And that's why early, like an ag crop with your soybeans, like I said earlier, or corn, yeah, I know they're all around you, but if you don't pick yours or harvest it, then that's a food source and it'll survive a drought. And this clover, Whitetail Institute clover, proves itself once again. It's bright green, lush green, and it's just really a good product to have. 100% battery, so it must have worked when we took it down.
Yep.
Well, that's not bad clover for as dry as it's been. I mean, you know, you'll get this picture. That's pretty darn good. Whitetail Institute's clover. It's been put through the test this year, big time. Now here's what's ironic. You see those white granules? I fertilized that 3 weeks ago, 6/24/24, and it hasn't had enough rain, even though it showed an inch in the rain gauge, to dissolve the fertilizer. But out here, I got what I have to consider a pretty good stand. I mean, it's what it is. But like I said, it didn't have enough moisture, even with the dew. Been some wet mornings. I think there's dew on here right now. Yeah, I see some moisture right there. There's a little bit of moisture there. And it's 3:30 in the afternoon. But anyway, your best bet is a perennial alfalfa or clover, and plant it in low ground. That's where this is at. Exceptionally wet, but the creek is dry, and the creek's just over there. So the creek don't have no water in it. The ground don't have no water in it. I fertilized this really heavy with 624-24, and like I said, it's green, and it's really hard to mow it because it's so dry, but I guess that's what it is. And I'm pretty happy with this part over here. This grew in pretty good in the shade. I overseeded it with fusion, and it filled in pretty good. But food plotting is getting really, really difficult, and it'll test your mental capacity and your finance capacity, because, as they say, after all, you're just growing deer food. Well, this is a traditional grape tree, and there's been a lot of bucks in the history of this place that have used that tree, and they just generation after generation. So as long as they're using it, I'll keep putting a camera up on it. Well, that's going to put a wrap on it. Me and Deb out in the Yamaha. Just wanted to share what a drought looks like.